This is the Alterac Valley Battleground, a 40 against 40 PvP match between the Alliance and the Horde. The battleground is won by the faction that kills the enemy faction leader first, or by reducing the opponent's reinforcements to 0, which can be done in various ways. When the battleground was first introduced in the original version of the game, there were tales of this battleground taking multiple hours, sometimes even days to complete, which made for memorable battles. Nowadays, however, the battleground is mostly played out as a race, or so-called circ, to finish, where players of each faction ignore each other and
Didn't they change? When did they change where the Horde spawned? Didn't the Horde used to spawn down here, and then it wasn't balanced, and so they moved it, and then the Horde was unbalanced and got there first?
rush to the enemy base as fast as possible. Some people attribute this gameplay to players of recent times being more focused on honor gains and therefore using the strategy that yields the most honor, which is not wrong by any means. The main reason as to why the battleground played out differently back then compared to now lies in how the battleground was built up in those early days. In this video we will explore content that was removed from the battleground before patch 1.12 and therefore can't be found in classic WoW.
Hang on. Patch 1, so this is patch 1.5.0, hours, sometimes days. Yo, I want to see the pre-patch 1.5.0. What was it about 1.5 or 1.8 that made it multiple hours instead of days? We received two major changes, 1.8 and 1.11, both of which reduced the average duration.
Found in classic WoW. Firstly, the landmines that used to lie on both Alliance and Horde side of the map, which would ensure that players did not skip past guards and go straight for the opposing faction leader. These
were moved in 1.8, 4 months into the game.
Would only trigger if an enemy ran into them and were invisible to enemy players, but visible to friendly players, which made it possible to kite attacking opponents into them, and thereby killing them. In terms of effectiveness, they actually hit very hard and would generally do 1.5 thousand damage, which meant that anyone running into a field of them would die pretty much immediately. They generally weren't located on the road, so if you followed a trail, you would mostly avoid them. Secondly, the NPCs that were removed from this battleground.
That's fucking cool.
The most notable removed NPCs were the trolls of the Alterac tribe that used to reside in the middle of the battleground, guarding the snowfall graveyard from both Horde and Alliance players. Their leader Korak would spawn in the middle of the battleground and had some quests tied to him. There were also other NPCs, such as the members of the Syndicate, as well as Gnolls and Yetis, that players could kill. These were the first assets of Alterac Valley that were removed back in patch 1.8.
Dude. So the graveyards had bosses stacked on top of them? Damn, bro, I love the landmines too. If you stray off the road, you just end up getting deleted. I wonder if there was a strategy for like taking a certain path. If you have like, your entire team just running a straight line. Spaced out, and you have like the first 5 people die, and then they become defenders whenever they get killed by the landmines, but everybody else passes through.
Overall, there were more elite NPCs scattered around the battleground, guarding each side, whereas now most guard NPCs are located on graveyard flags or inside towers. What a lot of people don't know is that there used to be a combat vehicle, somewhat like what is used in Wintergrasp in Wrath of the Lich King expansion. This was obtainable from a quest that you would find on the Snowfall graveyard. To complete the quest, players had to gather a ton of mining goods.
What? Bro, you had to spend 50 mithril bars? Do you know how much 50 mithril bars cost? Giga Chad, man. This is like the fucking parent that shows up at Dave & Buster's and buys game coins for everybody. Drops like $300 just so the kids can go play fucking air hockey together and eat pizza at the same time. Bro.
As well as an item found within the battleground itself.
Zin Fizzlik's portable shredder unit creates a shredder unit that you control. Dude. It lasts for 3 days? Bro, these games lasted so long they put a 3-day duration on this item. Dog.
This would enable players to take control of a shredder vehicle, which had a decently strong auto attack and a fast swing timer, as well as a cleave and a fire breath ability.
Even armor melt. How much HP does this thing have? 164. It's taking no damage. Look at this.
The fire breath ability was unique in that it would actually do durability damage to the target's chest piece, meaning that players would have to repair frequently if the opponents were using these shredders. Another thing that probably did.
Wait, did he say that it does 5% durability damage to the chest armor of your opponent? That's sick, man. I love these hidden mechanics inside the game that they're not implemented anymore. Maybe it's too hard to follow. That's crazy.
Frequently if the opponents were using these shredders.
So
Another
you
thing
actually
that
wear
probably
down your
didn't
team. Bro, oh my gosh, old school AV was badass. You actually wear down. It's definitely a war of attrition in Alterac Valley.
really affect the gameplay of the battleground,
taking out
but it's
your
still worth
opponent's gear.
mentioning is that there used to be a lot of herbs and mining nodes located within the Alterac Valley.
Damn.
While it is understandable that Blizzard had to do something to shorten the battles, it would have been interesting to try playing Alterac Valley again in its original form.
Minor bonus, there were race-specific quests somewhat like what was used in Warlords of Draenor. These were not really important and did not affect the Battlegrounds gameplay. Bro, do you guys... this is that argument of, do you want Classic Plus or do you want patch progression? Do you want the original game designers, implementation, or do you want new Blizzard to make new content? And in some niche cases, it would be cool to see the old school content. Both. Yeah, it's like I don't want to play the entire game in patch 1.5, but I want to play the game with these old school race class quests inside of AV, with old school AV. But I don't want to play patch 1.5, right? At least from what I've heard. I heard Everlook was kind of a dumpster fire in patch 1.2 or so. Dude, look at this guy. He's got all these mats for the shredder. I wish I could see the class quests. Severed Night Elf heads. Favor amongst the Darkspear. Bro, I'm about to look up these quests. That was a good video. Yo, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good was that video? How good was that video? When was the last time you guys watched a video this good?